What's up everyone, Davey here. Hoping you're all doing well. Mabo kind of sucks ass at explaining mechanics or just ways to utilize your repertoire. So, I want to go into detail about what you can do to better control, execute, and survive things like techs, raids, and crom boss. So, pull up your britches because this first video will be about Deathmark, and how it may be one of the most important skills in the game. Not only does Deathmark, which I will call DM for short, give an increase to damage to the target, hitting a Deathmark target sucks all enemies around into the DM dude. For that reason, let us talk about some of the abilities that pair well with DM, starting with Chaser. Chaser is an area of effect Stardust ability that consistently hits a marked area of targets. Hitting a Deathmark target will consistently pull all those around to that target. Now, to cast it, what I wouldn't recommend you do is use the skill and hover the circle over the mobs, since Chaser is only allocated to a certain amount of baddies. However, a pretty neato thing you can do is use the keyboard action to automatically assign Chaser to the Deathmark target just after marking it. For me, the keyboard action is the E key. You can find it under Options, Game, Control, Hotkey Settings. If this is a little confusing, let me try to show you. Okay, so I'm doing this with one hand, but basically, let me get Deathmark loaded. The Deathmark target. Now, I'm going to have my hand on Chaser, and I'm going to hit E. So, there you go. So you just hit E. You can even attack with your action, your keyboard action button. I guess that's what it's called. But, yeah. E key. Use it. You want to Deathmark the DM target. I'm sorry, you want to Chaser the DM target. Yeah, that's what I mean. Cool. See the death? Welcome to Mabinogi. Using Chaser is very important if you want to run things like Crom Boss, since that dungeon is all about control and managing all the mobs that spawn. Speaking of control, probably the OG of Deathmark utilization, Flame Burst is the meta in Crom Boss and just overall collecting of mobs. A Deathmark to Flame Burst quickly and efficiently gathers all mobs. The only caveat is you must have a high erged cylinder, since in order to collect efficiently, you must have a high hit count, which is only realistically obtainable with erg 45 or 50. Next up, the alchemy skill Wind Blast is primarily used for pushing around the enemy team, and used a lot to get dudes to where you need to get them. The cool thing that you can do is Deathmark a target, then push the DM dude past a bunch of dudes to gather them as well. Another cool tidbit is to get Wind Blast Reforged shoes to create a nice wide area of effect when using Wind Blast. If you got the pets, primarily a Bone Dragon or Mer Dragon, but any stun pet that's not freezing, binding, or sleeping will work. You can use Deathmark and summon a pet to pull in the mobs. Bone and Mer Dragons have a stackable defense and protection debuff that are applied to whatever the pet hits upon summon. The warrior skill Rage Impact, or RI for short, is a great skill for an Elemental Knight user. Not only does a Deathmark target that is rage impacted tend to become a super sucker, RI increases the next melee hit by 50%. If you do use Elemental Knight, the combo Deathmark, Bone Dragon, Mer Dragon, Rage Impact, and then Dynavolt Smash will become your best friend very quickly. And finally, there's Dance of Death, a bard skill which is probably the best mobile interrupts and taunts in the game. However, Deathmarking and then Dance of Deathing will give you the ability to take huge groups of mobs to wherever you want them to go. Hopefully this short list can help you guys out and make your runs a little cleaner and more efficient. Let me know if there's anything I missed, which I'm sure there is. There's so many skills and combos of skills that form a symbiotic relationship that it's hard to list them all sometimes. Hope to see you all in the next one, where I'm probably going to talk about iframes and the skills that prevent damage or even death. So, see you in the next one. Peace, guys.